Another month passes, and once again, we say goodbye to voices that once filled our world with sound and meaning. From timeless voices to quiet innovators, their music lives on in every note we remember. Jimmy Cliff, Richard Darbyshire, Archie Fisher, and Gilson Lavis, these are just some of the names we honor this month, in this heartfelt tribute. Their echoes remain, even as the spotlight fades. They left this month, November 2025.
Archie Fisher, folk singer, songwriter, remember for The Final Trawl. October 23, 1939 to November 1, 2025. A deeply respected Scottish folk singer, songwriter, and guitarist, celebrated for his gentle storytelling, rich baritone voice, and poetic songwriting. A central figure in the British folk revival, Fisher influenced generations with his sensitive interpretations of traditional songs and his own beautifully crafted originals. Among his most beloved works is The Final Trawl, a reflective, haunting ballad that captures the emotional weight of a life spent at sea, a song that has become a modern folk standard, recorded by artists around the world. Fisher's subtle guitar work and heartfelt delivery made every performance feel intimate, sincere, and timeless. Beyond his solo career, Fisher was also a mentor, collaborator, and broadcaster, notably hosting BBC Radio Scotland's Travelling Folk for over 2 decades, where he championed traditional and contemporary folk artists with warmth and insight. Archie Fisher leaves behind a legacy woven into the fabric of modern folk music, a quiet giant of the genre whose songs and spirit continue to sail across generations. Donna Godchaux, singer, worked with Grateful Dead. August 22, 1947 to November 2, 2025. American singer whose soulful, gospel-rooted voice brought a new emotional dimension to the Grateful Dead during one of their most creative eras. Before joining the band, she had already built an impressive resume as a session vocalist in Muscle Shoals, contributing to major recordings and developing the warm, expressive tone that would become her signature. In 1972, Donna and her husband, pianist Keith Godchaux, joined the Grateful Dead, marking a significant shift in the group's sound. Her harmonies enriched albums such as Wake of the Flood, From the Mars Hotel and Terrapin Station, and her live performances added vocal depth to the Dead's expansive, improvisational concerts. Her presence helped shape the band's identity throughout the 1970s. After departing the Dead in 1979, she continued her musical journey through collaborations, including the Donna Godchaux Band, and contributed to projects honoring the legacy of Jerry Garcia. Her voice, steeped in soul, gospel, and rock, remained instantly recognizable to fans across generations. Donna Godchaux leaves behind a legacy defined by passion, musical sincerity, and a singular contribution to one of America's most iconic bands. Her work continues to resonate with listeners who found comfort, spirit, and heart in her unmistakable voice. Borges, Brazilian singer, songwriter, guitarist, co-founder of MPB, Clube da Esquina. January 10, 1952 to November 2, 2025. Celebrated Brazilian singer, songwriter, and guitarist, revered as one of the creative forces behind Clube da Esquina, the groundbreaking movement that forever reshaped música popular brasileira, MPB. With his youthful brilliance and instinctive musicality, Borges helped forge a sound that blended Brazilian folk, rock, jazz, and soul into something entirely new and deeply poetic. At just 20 years old, he co-created Clube da Esquina, 1972, alongside Milton Nascimento and other Minas Gerais musicians, a masterpiece that became one of the most influential albums in Brazilian music history. His compositions, full of melodic richness, emotional depth, and imaginative arrangements, defined a generation and inspired countless artists across the decades. Borges' self-titled Blue Album, recorded the same year, further showcased his songwriting genius, featuring songs that became cult classics and helping establish him as a visionary voice in MPB. Throughout his life, he continued to compose and collaborate, always staying true to the introspective, soul-rooted style that shaped his legacy. Lo Borges leaves behind a luminous catalogue of music, a monumental cultural contribution, and the spirit of an artist who changed Brazilian music forever through beauty, innovation, and heartfelt expression. Gilson Lavis, drummer, worked with Squeeze, Jools Holland and his R&B orchestra. June 27, 1951 to November 5, 2025. An exceptional British drummer whose sharp technique, soulful touch, and impeccable timing made him one of the most respected rhythm players of his generation. Best known for his foundational work with Squeeze and his long-standing collaboration with Jools Holland and his rhythm and blues orchestra, Lavis built a career defined by versatility, precision, and unmistakable groove. Lavis first came to prominence as the powerhouse behind Squeeze's rise in the late 1970s and early 1980s, driving classics like Up the Junction, Pulling Muscles from the Shell, and Tempted, with a punchy, tasteful style that became integral to the band's sound. His drumming combined rock energy, pop clarity, and R&B finesse, setting him apart from his peers and earning admiration from musicians worldwide. After Squeeze, Lavis forged a remarkable second act as the steady heartbeat of Jools Holland's R&B orchestra, performing on countless tours, albums, and televised sessions. His ability to adapt, from blues to boogie-woogie, swing to soul, showcased not only his technical mastery but also his deep musical intuition. Beyond drumming, Lavis was also a skilled visual artist, known for expressive portraits of the musicians he admired and worked with. Gilson Lavis leaves behind a legacy built on rhythm, dedication, and artistic spirit, a drummer who connected eras, genres, and generations through the unmistakable pulse of his playing. Richard Darbyshire, singer, songwriter, producer, worked with Living in a Box. March 8, 1960 to November 10, 2025. Was an English singer, songwriter, and producer best known as the soulful voice and lyrical force behind Living in a Box, one of the defining pop-soul groups of the late 1980s. With his smooth tone, expressive delivery, and sharp melodic instinct, Darbyshire helped shape a sound that blended pop sheen with emotional depth. He rose to international prominence with Living in a Box's 1987 breakthrough hit, Living in a Box, a sleek, groove-driven anthem that became a worldwide success. Darbyshire's rich vocals and thoughtful songwriting also elevated tracks like Room in Your Heart, which showcased his ability to bring warmth and sincerity to modern pop production. Beyond the band, Darbyshire carved out a respected career as a solo artist, collaborator, and producer, working with a wide range of musicians across pop, soul, and electronic music. His 1994 solo album How Many Angels further revealed his depth as a writer, introspective, melodic, and quietly powerful. Known for his professionalism, kindness, and meticulous musicality, Richard Darbyshire leaves behind a legacy of songs that continue to resonate with elegance, heart, and timeless charm. Mani, bassist, worked with The Stone Roses, Primal Scream. November 16, 1962 to November 20, 2025. Beloved British bassist whose driving, melodic style helped define two of the most influential bands of modern rock, The Stone Roses and Primal Scream. Known for his infectious groove, sharp musical instincts, and warm personality, Mani became one of the most respected and recognizable figures in the UK alternative music scene. He first made his mark with The Stone Roses, where his fluid, hypnotic bass lines formed the backbone of the band's iconic Manchester sound. Songs like Fool's Gold, She Bangs the Drums, and the band's legendary debut album showcased Mani's ability to lock into rhythmic patterns that were both subtle and electrifying, a key ingredient in the band's enduring influence. In 1996, Mani joined Primal Scream, bringing his unmistakable bass presence to their evolving blend of rock, electronic, and psychedelic music. His contributions powered albums such as Vanishing Point and XTR, adding depth, attitude, and groove to the band's bold sonic experiments. Across decades, Mani was celebrated not just for his musicianship but for his generosity, humor, and deep love for music. Whether on stage, in the studio, or speaking with fans, he carried himself with the authenticity and spirit that made him a true cornerstone of British rock. Monty leaves behind a legacy etched into the pulse of modern music, a bassist whose lines will continue to echo across generations. Jellybean Johnson, drummer, guitarist, worked with The Time, The Family. November 19, 1956 to November 21, 2025. American drummer, guitarist, songwriter, and producer whose powerful rhythms and sharp guitar lines helped shape the unmistakable sound of the Minneapolis music scene. As a founding member of The Time, and later a key contributor to The Family, Johnson stood at the heart of the Prince-associated musical revolution that blended funk, rock, pop, and R&B into a bold new style. With The Time, Jellybean's explosive drumming became a defining element of the band's swagger, working alongside Morris Day, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, and Jesse Johnson to create some of the most electrifying funk of the 1980s. Tracks like The Bird and Jungle Love showcased the band firing on all cylinders, with Jellybean driving the groove with precision and attitude. Equally gifted as a guitarist, he later expanded his role in the Minneapolis sound, collaborating with The Family and contributing to the sophisticated, soulful textures that group became known for. Beyond performing, he built a respected career as a producer and session musician, working with artists across R&B, pop, and funk, always bringing his signature blend of energy and musicianship. Jellybean Johnson leaves behind a legacy rich with rhythm, innovation, and spirit, a true architect of one of the most influential music movements of the modern era. Jimmy Cliff, reggae singer, with songs like Reggae Night. July 30, 1944 to November 24, 2025. Was a towering figure in Jamaican music and one of the most influential reggae artists in history. With a voice filled with warmth, soul, and quiet fire, Cliff helped carry reggae beyond the shores of Jamaica and into the global spotlight, becoming one of the genre's earliest and most enduring ambassadors. His breakthrough came with The Harder They Come, both the film and its soundtrack, which introduced international audiences to the depth, struggle, and spirit of Jamaican culture. Songs like Many Rivers to Cross, You Can Get It If You Really Want, and the title track became worldwide anthems of resilience and hope, cementing Cliff as one of reggae's most recognizable and beloved voices. In the 1980s, Cliff once again showed his versatility with Reggae Night, a global hit that blended pop, reggae, and Caribbean rhythms with irresistible energy. His ability to evolve while staying true to the core of his roots made him a cross-generational artist, admired from Kingston dance halls to world stages. Across his long career, Jimmy Cliff remained a powerful storyteller, a humanitarian, and a musical bridge builder who inspired countless artists. His legacy is woven into the very identity of reggae, joyful, conscious, and timeless.
Remember them with joy, let's hear their songs and celebrate their lives. This was a program for Music and Life by Karlos M, created by KM Productions. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment telling us your favorite artist from this episode. You can also donate on my PayPal, musicandlife.km@gmail.com. Your donation is like a friendly invitation for a cup of coffee, a small gesture that shows your appreciation for the work I do. Every contribution, no matter how big or small, makes a difference and helps me continue creating content that I hope you enjoy. Thank you for your support and for being a part of this community. Until next time. A program for Music and Life KM. Created by Karlos M. Produced by KM Productions. 2025 copyright.